200-meter dash, first heat underway.
There goes Karen. He's taking second. The throw, the slide, not in time. He's safe.
Will spike it over and get the point for the Red Hawks.
Strike three. He got him looking.
And that'll be another point for the Red Hawks. Should be a good game here. Frontier, they are 4-2 on the season. Greenfield is 4-2 on the season. Both these teams with the same record here. And Frontier, this is a league game. Both are in the Suburban East. And Frontier is in the division. They are 0-0. Well, in the conference, Frontier is 1-1. Greenfield is 2-1 in the conference. And should be a good game here. On the mound for the Red Hawks, it is Carter Miller. And pitching for the Greenfield Green Wave is Arthur Fitzpatrick. And we'll go through the lineup here. Batting first is Brody Burke. He's over at third base for the Wave. Batting second is number 14, Arthur Fitzpatrick. He's on the mound. Batting third is number 12, Chase Zeranig. He's over at shortstop. In the fourth spot is number 3, Luciano. He's catching. In the fifth spot is number 24, Uriah Tenes. He's over at first base. And batting in the sixth spot is number 2, Nico Ciano. He's out in right field. Batting the seventh is Sam Bacala. He's in left field. And then batting in eighth is Casey Burke at second base. And Leek Moore is in the ninth spot. He is in center field. So that's the lineup tonight for Greenfield. And Brody Burke will start us off. Here comes the pitch from Miller. And that one is away for a ball. 1-0. Here comes the pitch from Miller. Foul back. 1-1. That's outside for ball 2, 2-1. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Nice pitch from Miller. Here comes the pitch from Miller. That's low for a ball. 3-2 full count. Here comes the pitch. And That will be strike 3 called looking. So 1 up, 1 down. Now we'll bring up Arthur Fitzpatrick. He's on the mound today for the Wave. Miller delivers. High for a ball. 1-0. Here comes the pitch. Inside. 2-0 for Arthur. Comes the pitch from Miller. That one's fouled back. 2-1. Good hitters count here. Swing and miss, strike 2. 2-2. Here comes the pitch. That one just outside. 3-2 full count. Fitzpatrick is looking for a base hit, ball 4 here. Grounder over to third. And in time for out number 1. Nice play there by Braden Dion. And that'll bring up Chase Aronig. Swing and miss, strike 1. Oh, and 1 is the count here for Zaranig. In there for a strike. 0-2. Miller's got a couple pitches to give here now. And Zaranig's got to protect on anything close. Grounder over to shortstop. And throws it over to first, and that will be out. Out number 3. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm your host, Tom Albert, joined with Kenneth Gonzalez. And Leading off for the Red Hawks is number 3, Jack Cusson. He's over at shortstop today. Out in left field is number 5, Brady Pareda. He's batting second. Batting third is number 8, Braden Dion. He's over at third base. Batting in the cleanup spot is number 6, Henry Drinker. He's catching. Batting fifth is number 14, Austin Durso. He's over at first base. Batting sixth is number 2, Carter Miller. He's on the mound today. And batting seventh is number 20, Joey Hutkoski. He's the designated hitter for the second baseman. And batting eighth is number 11, Noah Pareda. He's out in right field. And at the bottom of the order is number 4, Grayson Bishop. He's out in center field. So once again, leading off is Jack Cusson here for the Red Hawks. And on the mound is Arthur Fitzpatrick for the Greenfield Green Wave. That one's popped up, and that'll be caught by the right fielder, Nico Ciano. And that will bring up number 5, Brady Pareda. He's out in left field today, like usual. Here comes the pitch from Fitzpatrick. That one's low for a ball. Here comes the pitch. High for a ball. 2-0. Fitzpatrick delivers. In there for a strike. 2-1. Here comes the pitch. And that one's in there for a strike too. 2-2. Here comes the pitch. That one's in the dirt. 3-2 full count for Brady Pareda. He's looking for a base hit, ball 4 here. One's fouled back and into the woods. Here comes the pitch. Grounder will get through. Picked up by the shortstop. Throws it over first in time. Round number 2. And that will bring up Braden Dion here with 2 outs. Dion's over at third today. Hard hit ball, right field, and that's going to drop. Dion's going to take off to second, and he's going to get down. He'll be safe. Double to the right field for Dion, and that'll bring up Henry Drinker. Here with 2 outs. Runner in scoring position. That one's in the dirt for ball number 1. One and 0 is the count. Here comes the pitch. In there for a strike down the middle. 1-1. Comes the pitch. Grounder over to third base. Throws it over to first. In time for out number 1. Nice pick there by Uriah. So that one, the first inning, no damage done on either side. We'll go to the top of the second. Leading off for the Wave is Luciano. So we'll be right back. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm your host, Tom Albert, John with Kenneth Gonzalez. Here in the top of the second inning, it is Luciano leading off for the Greenfield Green Wave. Still tied 0-0 after the first inning. It is raining a little bit. That one's outside for ball number 1. One and 0. Miller delivers. Grounder. It'll be a foul ball. Evens up the count, 1-1. Miller delivers. Fouled back into the woods. 1-2. Grounder over to shortstop. Throws over to first in time. So with one out there, that will bring up Uriah Tenes. Comes the pitch. Just outside for ball number 1. 1-0. Comes the pitch. High and inside. For ball 2 there. That one's inside. So you're right, probably not swinging here. Here comes the pitch from Miller. In there for a strike. 3-1. And that one hit over to second. Throws it over to first in time for out number 2. And that will bring up to Nico Sano. He's out in right field today. Here comes the pitch. It's outside for ball number 1. Comes the pitch. In there for a strike. 1-1. Miller delivers. Outside. 2-1. Here comes the pitch from Miller. Swing and a miss. 2-2 for Ciano here. Comes the pitch. High and inside. 3-2 full count. Here comes the pitch. Fouled back. Ooh. Drinker seems to be all right. Still 3-2 full count. Base hit ball 4 for Nico Ciano here. And that will be a walk for Ciano. First base runner of the game for the Greenfield Green Wave. That will bring up Sam Bacala. 2 outs, runner on first. Here comes the pitch. High and inside, or outside. 1-0. Ooh. And that's going to be a hit by pitch. That hit his hand. I'll bring up Casey Burke. He's over at second base today. We'll bring Casey Burke here. Here comes the pitch. That's inside for ball number 1, 1-0. One and out count here for Burke. Miller in his windup here. That one's in there for a strike. Evens up the count, 1-1. Grounder. Go down the foul line. 1-2. Oh. Lost connection there, Kai. That one's in there for strike number 3. So strikeout looking there. That'll be Carter Miller's second strikeout, and we'll go to the bottom of the second inning. Still tied 0-0. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. We start at the top of the second. It is Austin Deerso. And that one's hit. Blooper into shortstop. A nice catch there by Chase Saronic. And that'll bring up Carter Miller. So it's pitcher versus pitcher here, mano a mano. Miller calls time there. Comes the pitch. That one's in the dirt. 1-0. Fitzpatrick delivers. That one's low for a ball. 2-0. Miller calls time there again. And that one's hit over to second base. Throws out to first, and he'll be safe. As he runs that one out. That'll bring up, that was like a blooper at the second base there. So 1 out, runner on first, and that will bring up Joey Hakoski. Batter's Joey Hikowski. And swing and miss. Miller could get the steal sign there. Oh, close. Call that first. Put the pickoff attempt. Here comes the pitch. 1-2 is the count. That one's in there for a strike. Comes the pitch. That one's fouled back. Still 1-2. Miller takes off the second, and Ciano drops it there. Here comes the pitch. That one's popped up. And Ciano will make the grab for out number 2. But a runner is in scoring position for Miller's steal. This is the second time the Hawks have had an opportunity to score. And that will bring up Noah Pareda. He's out in right field today. Oh. That one gets away from Fitzpatrick there. 1-0. Onside for a ball, 2-0. Fitzpatrick gonna try with the pickoff attempt there. Fitzpatrick delivers. 3-0. And that one's in there for a strike, 3-1. Yeah. That one's in there for a strike, 3-2. Three-two full count, so got to protect on anything close. Grounder back to the pitcher. Patrick bobbles it and throws it over to first for out number 3. All right, so that will end the second inning. We'll go to the top of the third. Still tied 0-0. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. We'll be right back. welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm your host, Tom Albert, joined with Carnito Gonzalez here. It is the top of the third inning, still tied 0-0, and leading off here is Malik Moore for the Greenfield Green Wave. They're still looking for their first hit. They have had 2 base runners, though, with a walk and a hit by pitch. So Miller set to deliver here. Off-speed bunt. So 0-1. Miller delivers. That'll be a swing and a miss. 0-2. Comes the pitch from Miller. Pop fly. Right field. And Pareto will make the grab. And that'll bring up top of the order, Bodie Burke. Here comes the pitch from Miller. Inside for ball number 1. 1-0. Bodie calls time there. Here comes the pitch. Grounder over to shortstop. Fields it, throws it over first for out number 2. And that will bring up Arthur Fitzpatrick. His last at bat, he grounded out to third. So looking for Greenfield, still looking for their first hit here. One and 0. Here comes the pitch. Just outside. 2-0. Here comes the pitch. Called for a strike there. 2-1. Here comes the pitch from Miller. Grounder over to shortstop. Throws out to first for out number 3. So we'll go to the bottom of the third inning. Still tied 0-0. And the batter will be bottom of the order, Grayson Bishop for the Red Hawks. So we'll be right back. back to Frontier Community Access Television. We go to the bottom of the third inning where the score is still 0-0. And the batter will be Grayson Bishop. He's out in center field tonight. And he's a lefty for the Red Hawks. There comes the pitch. I'll be in there for ball number 1. Two now. Fitzpatrick delivers. And I'll be fouled back. 2-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. 3-1. Here comes the pitch. That'll be ball 4. So a leadoff walk for Grayson Bishop. That'll bring up top of the order, Jack Cusson. Cusson last at bat flew out to right field. This time, long ball out into left center field. 1 run will score. He'll take off to third. And that will be a triple for Jack Cusson. What a hit. That was deep into left center field. And that will bring up Brady Pareda. One and 0. Comes the pitch from Fitzpatrick. Bunt. Oh, a suicide squeeze there. We'll go foul. 1-1. Here comes the pitch. He'll bunt. And no one's covering first. Just close. But that'll be a successful suicide squeeze there. I'll make it 2-0. I'll bring up Braden Dion. Just 1 out here. And he last had a double to right field. 1-0. That one's in the dirt. Comes the pitch. Ooh. 2-0. Comes the pitch. Inside. 3-0. Here comes the pitch. Grounder over to third base. Goes over to first in time for out number 2. I'll bring up Henry Drinker. He last grounded out to third base. Fitzpatrick delivers. Off speed is in there for a strike. Allen's in there for a ball. 1-1. Comes the pitch. That one's in there for a strike. 1-2. Two and 2 is the count. There for Drinker. And that'll be a dead ball. So hit by pitch there. We'll bring up Ossinger, so. His last step, he flew out to the shortstop. And that'll be in there for a strike. 0-1. Comes the pitch. High for a ball. 1-1. Comes the pitch. Fly ball right field. And Siano will make the catch. So fly out to right field. And the Red Hawks, they strike first. They get 2 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We'll go to the top of the 4th, where you're watching Frontier Community Access Television. We'll be right back. welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm your host, Tom Albert, joined with Cainito Gonzalez here in the top of the fourth inning. It is 2-0. The Red Hawks scored 2 in that bottom of the third. And that'll bring up Chase Zeranek. Greenfield still looking for their first hit of the night, as Miller has been lights out so far. Comes the pitch, fly ball, right field, and second baseman will make the catch. And that will bring up Lucas Ciano. His last at bat, he grounded out to shortstop. That one's in there for a strike. 1-0. Here comes the pitch from Miller. Inside. Almost hits him there. 1-1 is the count. Miller delivers. Just outside. 2-1. Good hitters out here for Ciano. And Miller will get a new ball there. Here comes the pitch. And that'll be fly ball to the first baseman. And Austin Durso makes the catch. And that'll bring up Uriah Tenes. His last at bat, he grounded out to the second baseman. Comes the pitch from Miller. That one's fouled back into the woods. Oh, and 1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. In there for a strike. 0-2 is the count. And that'll be fouled back. Still 0-2. Miller delivers. That will be a ball. One and 2 is the count. And called time there. One and 2. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3 called looking. And that'll be Miller's third strikeout of the evening. So we'll go to the bottom of the fourth inning. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm your host Tom Albert, joined with Kenneth Gonzalez, and the battle will be Carter Miller. His last at bat, he hit a grounder to second base and beat out the throw, and he stole a base. So he's 1 for 1 on the night. 1-0. Fitzpatrick delivers. Fly ball, center field, and he'll make the grab as Malik Moore for out number 1. Then I'll bring up Joey Hikoski. He's the designated hitter. And his last at bat, he flew out to left field. Grounder over to shortstop. He'll make the play. Throws it over to first for out number 2. And that will bring up Noah Pareda. Here comes the pitch. Inside for a ball. 1-0. Fitzpatrick delivers. In there for a strike. 1-1. In there for strike number 2 for Pareda. His last at bat, he grounded out to the pitcher. Here comes the pitch. Almost got him to chase there. 2-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Low for a ball number 3. 3-2, full count. Comes the pitch. Grounder over to shortstop. He'll make the play over to first, and a nice pick by Uriah there. And that will end the 4th inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for the Wave, and we'll go to the top of the 5th. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. The score is 2-0. Welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm your host, Tom Albert, joined with Kenneth Gonzalez here. We go to the bottom or the top of the 5th, and it is Nico Sano. That one's in there for a strike. His last at bat, he walked. 1 of 2. Only base runners for the Wave. That one's in there for a ball. 2. 1-1. Here comes the pitch. In there for a strike. 1-2. Good pitcher's count here. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. And one, two, three, four. 4 strikeouts on the night for Miller. I'll be out number 1. That'll bring up Sam Bacala. Swing and a miss. On 1. One's outside. 1-1. Here comes the pitch from Miller. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Here comes the pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Miller and his windup will deliver. Grounder over to third base. Dion will pick it up, throws it over to first in time for out number 2. And that will bring up Casey Burke. His last at bat, he struck out looking. Here comes the pitch. That one's line outside for a ball, 1-0. Here comes the pitch. A nice liner over the shortstop, right to him. And back-to-back 3 up, 3 down, or 3 innings in a row with 3 up, 3 down. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Score is still 2-0. The Red Hawks over the Green Wave. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm your host, Tom Albert, joined with Kenneth Gonzalez here. And the batter is Grayson Bishop. His last at bat, he walked and scored a run. 1-0. That one's fouled back into the woods. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Fitzpatrick. Off speed, got him to chase. 1-2. Comes the pitch. Fly ball, left field. And he'll make the grab. Nice catch out there by Bacala. So, 1 up, 1 down. And that will bring up top of the order Jack Cusson. He had an RBI triple to left center field that he crushed the ball in his last at bat. That one will be a line, or that one will drop in for a base hit into center field. So Cusson's 2 for 3 on the night. And that will bring up Brady Pareda. He had an RBI squeeze play. Cusson there. And that one's in there for a strike. 1-1. Patrick takes a look over at Cusson. He'll throw to the plate. That one will be in the dirt. 2-1. Good stop by the catcher there. Here comes the pitch. In there for a strike. 2-2. Here comes the pitch. And that one's fouled back. Still 2-2 here. Comes the pitch. That'll be a grounder. It'll be fair. Siano will throw it over to first. He'll be out. 2 outs there. But Pareda does his job there. Moves the runner into scoring position. They'll bring up Braden Dion. He has a double to right field. And he has grounded out to third base. Siano makes a nice stop there. One to know is the count. Here comes the pitch. Grounder over to third, and it'll get through. And Cusson will stay over at third. So a base hit there for Dion. So first and third. And that will bring up Henry Drinker. His last at bat, he was hit by a pitch. And he's grounded out to third, so he's 0 for 1. Here comes the pitch. High for a ball. 1-0. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. 2 outs here. Here comes the pitch. High for a ball. Oh! Close play over at third. As Ciano throws down the third there. Two and one is the count. Pop fly will be out of play. 2-2. Fitzpatrick delivers here. Just outside there. 3-2 full count. Comes the pitch. Grounder will go down third baseline and be foul. Still 3-2 full count here. Three-two full count here. Fitzpatrick delivers. That'll be popped up and out of play. Long battle here between Drinker and Arthur Fitzpatrick. Here comes the pitch. That'll be ball 4 there. So that'll be bases loaded, 2 outs here. I'll bring up Austin Deere. So he's flown out to shortstop and he's flown out to right field. So still looking for a base hit. Comes the pitch. In there for a strike. 0-1. Here comes the pitch. Low inside for a ball. Evens up the count 1-1. Comes the pitch. Inside. 2-1. Here comes the pitch. That'll be fouled off and out of play. 2-2. Two and two is the count here. Patrick delivers. That'll be inside. 3-2 full count. Three-two full count. Everyone's moving here. Patrick looking for a pickoff attempt. No one was there though. Here comes the pitch. In there for strike 3. Nice pitch there by Fitzpatrick. Strikeout looking. And that will end the 5th inning score as 2-0. We'll go to the top of the 6th. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. We'll be right back. back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm your host, Tom Albert, joined with Kenneth Gonzalez as we go to the top of the 6th inning. We have Malik Moore. Greenfield still looking for their first hit on Miller. No hitter going for Carter Miller. Fly ball deep center field. And back, making the catch there is Grayson Bishop. And that will bring up top of the order, Bodie Burke. That'll be fouled back. 0-1 is the count. Not sure what happened there, but still 0-1. Here comes the pitch from Miller. That one's fouled back and out of play. 0-2. Oh, 2 count here for Bodie Burke. Bodie Burke will call time. Here comes the pitch. That one is in the dirt there. 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Grounder down the third baseline will go foul. Fans making the play over there. Still 1-2 for Bodie Burke. Here comes the pitch from Miller. In the dirt. 2-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Grounder over to third. Dion will make the grab. He'll throw to first, and it is away. So there's an error there. Well, runner on second. That'll bring up Arthur Fitzpatrick. Just one out here. Runner on second. Crucial run. Miller will deliver in there for a strike. 0-1. Fitzpatrick is last at bat. Grounded out to shortstop. Miller will check on the runner over at second. And he's grounded out to third base. Still 0-1. Here comes the pitch. And he went 0-2. Miller looks still over here. Nice hit into right field. And they're going to wave the runner to home. So, and there's a run. So that'll be an RBI for Arthur Fitzpatrick. Blue pit into right field. And the no-hitter is definitely broken there. I'll bring up Chase Saronic. His last at bat, he flew out to second base and grounded out to the shortstop. So that'll be probably the night for Miller. Maybe not. Coach Williams coming to check on Miller. One out, runner on first. Mound visit from Coach Williams. Miller taking a look at Fitzpatrick there. Miller delivers. Fitzpatrick takes out the second. And Dion will drop the ball there. He'll bobble it. And that'll be a base hit for Chase Saronic. So runners on first and second now. And the winning runs at first base. Tie run in scoring position. Just one out here, and it'll be Lucas Ciano. He's 0 for 2. Flew out to first base and ground out to shortstop. That'll be a fly ball to left field. And Brady Pareda will make the catch there. Two outs now, and the runner, or the batter, will be Uriah Tenes. Comes the pitch. Fly ball left field. Pareda racing towards it, and it'll be out of play. And it'll go onto the roof. That ball is lost. On 1. On 1 for Uriah. Grounder over to third base, shortstop. And they'll drop the ball. So that'll make it bases loaded. Both teams with the bases loaded in these innings. Frontier got no runs. So see if Greenfield can capitalize. They've already gotten one. And it'll be Nico Ciano. He's walked. On 1 is the count. He's walked and he's struck out. Miller will deliver. Fly ball. Second baseman will make the grab. So the Red Hawks get out of it. But they get 1 run, so the score is 2-1. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. We'll be right back. All right. We go to that one's hit back to the pitcher. Fly back to Fitzpatrick there. So that'll be one out there. Miller was the batter. And it'll be Joey Akoski. He's flown out to left field and grounded out to the shortstop. So he's looking for his first hit of the night. Comes the pitch. In the dirt. 1-0. Here comes the pitch. That's low. 2-0. Low and outside. Here comes the pitch. Grounder over to third. He'll bobble it. Picks it up. Throws it over to first. And he'll be safe. So you're right. Akoski makes it to first. They'll bring up Noah Pareda. And it'll be a courtesy runner. It'll be Connor James for Akoski. Pareda's over 2. He's grounded out to the pitcher and grounded out to the shortstop. Close play over at first. Here comes the pitch from Fitzpatrick. It'll be high for a ball. 1-0. James could get the steal sign here. Comes the pitch. In there for a strike. 1-1. Here comes the pitch from Fitzpatrick. That'll be in the dirt. 2-1. Gets past the catcher there, so James will take second. Just one out here. Comes the pitch. And he'll bunt. He'll go foul. 2-2 now. Two and two is the count. Here comes the pitch from Fitzpatrick. Fly ball down the first baseline. Will go foul. Still 2-2. Here comes the pitch. That one's fouled back. Still 2-2. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up. Fitzpatrick to deliver here. Inside. 3-2, full count. That'll be inside, ball 4. Runners at first and second. One out here, and the batter will be Noah Pareda. Or sorry, Grayson Bishop. He's walked, scored a run, and flown out to left field. That one's in there for a ball. Two and 0. And Fitzpatrick takes a step off the mound. Two and 0. Fly ball. Left field. And almost making a grab. 2-1 is the count there. Here comes the pitch. Fly ball. Left field. 2-2 is the count now. Here comes the pitch from Fitzpatrick. Just outside. 3-2 full count. Looking for a base hit, ball 4 here. Fitzpatrick takes a step off the mound there. James does have speed on him, so base hits could score a run here. Comes the pitch. Low for a ball. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Just one out, bases loaded, and he'll bring up top of the order Jack Cusson. He's 2 for 3. He has a triple, RBI triple to left center field. And a hit to center field his last at bat. Comes the pitch from Fitzpatrick. Oh. 1-0. Guess that was inside. 1-0 is the count. Fitzpatrick delivers. Grounder will go foul. Evens up the count, 1-1. Fitzpatrick delivers. Grounder will get through. That'll score 2 runs. And a 2 RBI single for Jack Cusson. And that will bring up Brady Pareda. He has an RBI with a squeeze there. He's 0 for 3, though. Just 1 out. That'll be in the dirt. 1-0 for Pareda. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt. 2-0. Two and 0 for Pareda. in there for a strike. 2-1. Here comes the pitch. High for a ball. 3-1. Here comes the pitch. Pop fly. Uriah will make the attempt there. 3-1. Or 3-2. Full count now. Three-two full count. Here comes the pitch. And that'll be a ball 4. I'll load the bases again. And Ciano checking on Fitzpatrick there. Just giving him some words of encouragement. And Coach Shusnick going to make the call here. So there may be a pitching change. Yep. Or maybe not. But we'll take a quick break. We're watching Frontier Community Access Television. We'll be right back. Yeah, so it'll be Chase Zaranig coming in to pitch for Arthur Fitzpatrick. So we'll be right back. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. Tom Albert, Kynetta Gonzalez here. It is Chase Zaranig on the mound now for the Wave. Hard hit ball, center field, and it'll make the grab. That'll be a sac fly to center field though. So sack fly there for Dion. Hard hit ball. Center field will make the grab. 2-on the inning. So the Hawks get 3 runs though. We'll go to the top of the 7th. The score is 5-1. We'll be right back. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television.